Five Nights at Freddy's has 12 games and a couple of DLCs that all come together to build one story. But the problem is, when you have this much content to keep track of in one story, and most of the games telling the story are super vague and require a detective to figure out, the story can be really hard to keep track of. Don't even get me started with the books. The FNAF games and story can be really confusing, and with FNAF Secret of the Mimic coming out this year, I decided that we should sit back and look at every single little detail that has led this franchise from going from a creepy pizzeria where animatronics are possessed by kids to a literal killer clown and advanced robot that will mimic anything it sees and now wants to kill people. How did we go from this to this? I don't know. It's confusing to me, and it's probably very confusing to the average player. So today I decided that we're gonna sit down together and figure this out. So sit back, relax, get your lasagna, and let's jump into how we went from Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and the crazy path that has led us to this year's new game, FNAF Secret of the Mimic.
Welcome to intermission.
So let's start off with what most people are probably wondering. Who is the Mimic? I mean, his name is in the title of the new game, but most people have never even heard of this thing. We know about Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, Foxy, even Springtrap.
I always come back.
But not once have we heard of the Mimic. So unless you're heavily keeping up with the FNAF lore, you'll probably be very confused playing this game because you don't know who he is. And to be honest, neither does most of the fan base. The first time we ever see the Mimic is during FNAF Security Breach Ruin, where he's in the bottom of the entire pizzaplex. He's the one that tricked Cassie into thinking he's Gregory. But is this the first time, or is this the first time? Or let's take this a step further, is this the first time? We don't really know much about this character. I mean, there could be many different times in the series where this character was introduced, probably because Scott Cawthon decided to make this character out of nowhere. But where we get the most information about him is the books.
No!
Yeah, I know. I hate these just as much as you do, man. But they give us the most amount of information that we can learn from for the Mimic. So I'm gonna try simplify this as quickly as possible for you guys so you guys don't get bored and fall asleep. So the story starts with a guy called Edwin. His wife died, leaving him alone to take care of his kid. Edwin made the Mimic to distract his kid, programming the Mimic to, who would have thought, mimic everything that he sees. The idea was that the Mimic was gonna learn from the kid he was playing with in order for the Mimic to play with his kid, which actually works. But one day while working, Edwin left the door of the factory unlocked and the kid opened it, stupid ass kid, and went to the highway to chase a ball where he died. So many kids have died in this franchise. Anyways, Edwin was sad, obviously, and at one point the Mimic decided to mimic his kid, just like he was programmed to. The Mimic came up to Edwin with his kid's white tiger plushie, which led to Edwin whooping the Mimic's ass with a metal pipe. After this, Edwin goes MIA and the Freddy FNAF workers, also Edwin worked at Freddy's, I didn't mention that. They went to go pick up his stuff from the factory where they found the Mimic. They fixed up the Mimic, but then the Mimic started whooping their ass because he was mimicking what Edwin did to him. That ends the first story, but there's more stories. There's a lot of lore, guys.
I'm growing depressed.
So during the creation of the Pizzaplex, the place where Security Breach takes place, there was a shipment of animatronics to the Pizzaplex, and whoop-de-doo, the Mimic was there. They used the Mimic to do work for them because, I mean, it was really easy to train. He just mimics what everyone does. And blah, blah, blah. He ends up killing construction workers because they have hands and legs, just like the animatronics the Mimic was working on, which led to Freddy Fazbear Entertainment discontinuing the Mimic animatronics because there was more than one at this point because, again, they were really easy to train and make work. They discontinued them, and by the way, the Mimic knows how to replicate voices. Oh my gosh. So anyways, besides all of this, the Mimic programming was also something in the Pizzaplex they used to make stories for them. It was also like a tree for some reason, and it made a white tiger head or something like the plushie the kid used to own because it's the same programming that Edwin made ages ago. And the white tiger head traumatized Edwin, who came back to the pizza. Man, what am I reading, man? That's pretty much the gist of it, okay? All that being said, how are the books relevant to the games? I mean, the books aren't canon, right? Oh my god.
You like Five Nights at Freddy's.
What does that mean?
I'm pretty sure, unironically, everything I just said is canon to the games now, just because of this stupid tiger plushie in FNAF VR 2. But listen, that's the books out of the way, that's the Mimic lore from what we know of so far. But in the games, from what we've seen, I have a lot of questions like, why is the Mimic in Security Breach Ruin deep underground? Who activated the Mimic? Why is he even alive? Did Vanny activate the Mimic so he could kill people? Is Burn Trap the Mimic? The Mimic replicating Springtrap? Is this ending even canon? I mean, it only had 2 stars. Princess Quest had 3, but it's the only 3D animation ending. Is the Blob still the angry kids from the Springtrap days, or is it the Mimic like AI taking over and creating a new entity? What are these suits in the Mimic's house? Did he mimic other people like an elephant? Why did he mimic an elephant? Where did he even get this suit? Where does this take place in the timeline? Why is Secret of the Mimic set in 1979 according to this teaser? Where is the Mimic in any of the teasers for the new game? Is this the Mimic? Who is this?
Hey Danny, I got the fucker's head.
From everything we know, the Mimic is still a very, very big mystery, which is hopefully gonna be solved in this new game. I mean, the game is named after the Mimic after all. But throughout all the teasers for this new game, we haven't really gotten to see the Mimic. We've only gotten to see this random weird looking clown, which is this the Mimic? Where'd this even come from? I've never seen this guy in my life. Wait a minute. Oh my god.
Fuck you.
Maybe William Afton ran like a circus or something before all of this, but I don't know, man. Cause this has to be Freddy Fazbear Entertainment, right? Or is this another company? Maybe MatPat was right about Fredbear's singing show the whole time. We all doubted him. But I gotta say, big props to Scott Cawthon. He pulled a fast one on us, guys. I'm not gonna lie. He was scrambling after the terrible story Security Breach gave us that made no sense. And he searched and he searched and he found something. He looked at some paper pallets, the little poster of the clown. He's like, I could make this work. I'm gonna stand by this till I die. Five Nights at Freddy should have ended at the 6th game, but that being said, this is Jackie. She's called Jackie. She might be the Mimic. We don't even know because we don't know anything about her. We're probably gonna learn about her in this new game, and the game isn't even out yet. They've only released a teaser. She seems to be the villain of the new game, but again, we don't really know much about her. But Jackie and the Mimic are making me wonder, what even is the point of Vanessa as a character, because she's kind of being replaced by the Mimic as the villain of this story. Maybe the Mimic is just something Vanessa brought back from the past, but Vanessa's gonna be bad still in the future after this new game. I don't know, guys. I'm lost. Also, what is this supposed to be? What is MX's? Is this like Glitch Trap? What happened to Glitch Trap? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm lost again. Guys, I'm lost. Just like most of you guys, I'm very confused. I'm very lost. And I'm a little bit worried about the future of this franchise, but that being said, the new game comes out this year. I'm pretty cautiously excited for it because any FNAF like game that ever comes out, I'm gonna like play. But I just have no clue where they are going with this story, and I'm hoping Scott Cawthon is cooking up some heat. But I hope I was able to give you guys some context as to what's making this game happen. The FNAF story is an absolute mess right now, especially if you're a casual player. But I hope I was able to at least teach you guys something. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm a new FNAF YouTuber, so any support would be very much appreciated. Leave a subscription, leave the comments. It would help out a lot. I have a lot of planned content that I want to do on this channel, and I'm very excited for it, and I feel like you guys would really enjoy it. Look forward to that. I'm Mousy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Much love.